Hey, we are live. It's that time again. It's a Friday. It's nearly 7 o'clock, so it must be time for politics, religion, and everything else you're afraid to discuss. Well, fireworks in Congress as Adam Schiff, Swalwell, and Omar was booted off their uh, uh, committees. Now, this should not be a big surprise. We were told all along that they were going to be looked at. And AOC really threw a fit when her bestest buddy got kicked off the deal. It's racism. Never mind all the anti Jewish comments she made. Never mind all the insults she's portrayed on the United States. Swalwell, he slept with a Chinese secret agent. Give me a break. And you expected to keep your committee after you did that? And Adam Schiff looks like a criminal. I'm sorry, but you do, buddy. It's not that I dislike the Republican Democrats more than the Republicans. I dislike them both. But at least the Republicans are quiet about their uh, goof ups. I'm sure AOC thought after she made her impassioned plea for Omar and slammed her notebook on the podium as she finished her talking that she would get her way and Omar would get to stay. But right after that, they took the vote and Omar got booted. Now, where does that leave us? I do not know. They are starting investigations on the computer owned by Joe's boy. They're trying to figure out who the big guy is, and they are doing a lot of other investigations. But to be fair, they are also passing some bills. They're trying to balance the budget, trying to put spending limits on, and they are doing what they said they were going to do. I will give them credit for that. However, will it go through? I don't think so because the Democrats still control the Senate and the presidency. But they will make life miserable for Joe Biden for the next 2 years. The question is Joe Biden going to run since he's got all these scandals coming and falling around his neck? The Democrats don't care about the computer now. Oh, they're going to go halfway defense, defending Joe, but deep down they want Joe. They want Joe gone. If this don't get them, if the uh, papers don't get them, they may do what they've done in the past, just get rid of Joe. Now, what do I mean by that? You take it for what it means. All I know is that John F. Kennedy was going to do something in Dallas that some people didn't want done, and Lyndon Johnson told his lover that after Dallas, he wouldn't have to worry about John Kennedy anymore. Uh, So you take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying that they're going to kill them or anything. I'm just saying that they'll get rid of them one way or the other if it comes to that. Because I think right now they're looking at Gavin Newsom to run for president of the United States. It is apparent that Biden don't have the mental capacity to do it. He's a lot like Fetterman, who evidently doesn't have the health of the capacity to be a senator. But you didn't want that evil Dr. Oz up there, so you get what you pay for. Like they say, Cool Hand Luke, I didn't want it, but he did, and he got it. For Pennsylvania, you did, you got it. Uh, China. Let's talk a little bit about China. As a friend of mine used to call it when I was going to school. We made fun. Me and my brother made fun of that boy consistently. Every time we get to talking, the old boy, well, let me tell you what to do in China. So we call it China. Me and Steve called it China. Uh, they say they mistakenly sent a balloon over Alaska and into the country. And evidently we let it fly for a long time. But Lisa Murkowski is mad and she's falling down in the aisles of the Senate and kicking and screaming and acting like a little baby because they may have found out what color, who colored her hair and all that other good stuff that she does over there. Now I will say they probably should have been shot down as soon as it entered American space, but they waited on it and then they took it down themselves. Uh, what did they get? We don't know. I don't know what they got. I don't know what they're going to do with what they got. I just know that they blatantly spied and we haven't done anything about it except tell them that they bad. And then they tell us, oh, we saw it was an accident. No, it wasn't no accident. Be safe. Be honest. It wasn't no accident. You did it on purpose. We know that. You know that. Even my dogs know it. Don't do it again. But it did show that if you wanted to invade Alaska, might be a good place to invade because we ain't gonna do anything for Alaska. Okay. Uh, North Korea still being North Korea. Russia is still fighting, and everything's still going the way it's going in the world. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Zelensky is still out there begging for money and begging for supplies. We gave him some stuff that's about 20, 30 years old. Don't halfway work. But we're supporting them. We've got to defeat the evil Russia, who, by the way, is helping us with Iran. So on one hand, we're fighting them, and on the other hand, we're relying on them. I've said this on here before. I don't understand. That's why I do not like politicians. That's why I do not trust politicians. If you're going to hate somebody, you hate them. If you're going to like somebody, you like them. There's nothing in between. So that being said, everything is holding status quo right now, except for the balloon that flew over America sent by China. Uh, in the comments below, let me know. Do you think it was an accident? Why don't you think it was an accident? What should we do about it? I want to hear what you got to say. Let's move on to religion. I have been listening to 88.1 if you're in Elkhart, Tyler, I forgot wherever else they say. But in Grapeland, we get 88.1, which is American Family Radio. And they were talking about the end of time. They're like me. They believe that we're living in the last days. Let's face it, we've got the falling away of the church. We've got people that's not even listening to the Word of God. You can tell them about it, and they're off in the la la land somewhere until the judgment day. And then when they're facing God, God's going to say, well, you were told about this on such and such day, but you decided to think about something else. Uh, anyway, that's neither here or there. That's between you and God. If you're not a Christian, if you are a Christian, still between you and God. Uh, but they said that there's been some meetings in the last couple of years that have set the groundwork for a one world religion based around the Green Deal, which makes sense because if you notice that most of the judgments are going to affect the Green Deal. You're going to lose the sun. That's going to cost the solar. You're going to have extreme heat that's going to melt everything. All water, hydropower is going to be destroyed because of the water turning to blood. I could go on and on and on. Uh, so that's coming. They've also got the framework for a one world government, which they say the framework will be in place by 2030. This is 2023, so that gives us about 7 years before the framework is in place. Once the framework is in place, if we haven't been raptured yet, I think the rapture will probably hit not long after that. Of course, I'm not going to predict. I could be wrong about that. It might be a year, it might be 7 years, it might be 10 years, it might be 150 years. Or whatever the timetable is, God is coming back. I promise you that. And you that are not going with us will be down here for the tribulation and the great tribulation, which will be terrible. We've talked about that in the past. But as I said, that's between you and God. If you're still here and we've disappeared, I don't think you have a second chance. I could be wrong about that. You don't have a second chance. I know the Jewish people will have a second chance. And the people that's never heard the word will get their chance. But just to let you know that there is a framework being built right now, and it will be in place by 2030. All right, y'all have a great weekend. I will see y'all next week. And hopefully it won't be quite as noisy as far as the news is concerned. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
You're calling me too.